Time while we try to set that up, Gauteng still experiencing most vehicle crime, with hijacking prevalent in Johannesburg and theft mainly occurring in Pretoria. This is followed by KwaZulu-Natal, with Durban in the top spot for both hijacking and theft. The Western Cape, with hijacking mainly occurring in Mitchell's Plain and theft in Cape Town. All of that is the top line from the new Tracker Vehicle Crime Index. And I'm joined now on Thursday lunchtime by Ron Not Craig, Executive of Operational Services. Ron, good afternoon to you. First of all, let's just reference the pandemic if we can. Has vehicle crime come down because of the lockdown?
Jeremy, good afternoon to you and your viewers. Jeremy, yes, I think that there has been an impact on vehicle crime, a reduction in vehicle crime, as can be seen from the stats that were released. And I think that the COVID-19 pandemic has certainly played a role, primarily in the sense that there are far fewer vehicles on the road these days, and we believe that that has made an impact on the number of vehicle crime activities.
Your survey says theft has decreased in the survey period by 21%. Hijacking saw a 5% reduction. But there's a caveat there. Hijacking still remains a problem, doesn't it?
Indeed, it does, Jeremy. And the percentage of hijackings has increased. So last year, for the same period, 50% of all activities were hijackings. This year, for the same period, from July to December, 53% of them were hijackings. And that is a cause concern for a number of reasons, if you'd like me to elaborate.
Go ahead.
So one of the big problems with the hijacking that we have seen, Jeremy, is obviously the trauma that is associated with that for customers and the public out there. But the really big thing that is concerning us is the increase in the hostage taking. So last year, the chances of being taken hostage if you hijacked was 30%. That has increased by more than 10%, if you like, in percentage point terms, to 34%. So 34% of all hijackings now, a person is taken hostage and their bank accounts are cleaned out. And very often the customers are assaulted, they are shot. So a lot of trauma associated with that. And so the public must please be very, very vigilant. Don't be complacent because of the vehicle crime has gone down.
It is a critical warning that you're giving. I'm fascinated by the timelines that you give us. Most hijackings reported on a Wednesday through Friday and between the hours of 4 and 8 o'clock. Why?
Jeremy, we can't say exactly why. The criminals, use, from a hijacking point of view, use opportunity to go and hijack. And 51% of all the hijacking activities occurred within that time frame. And then the 49% was spread over, other time slots. It is very similar to what the case was a year ago, the prior year for the same period. But it has changed a little bit and increased your risk of getting hijacked, because they are now hijacking not as they were a year ago on a Thursday and a Saturday primarily. It's now Wednesday through to Friday. So there's an extra day added, and one just must be very careful.
Just in terms of the hijacking hotspots, Gauteng, Johannesburg, number 1, KZN, Durban, number 2, Western Cape, Mitchell's Plain, number 3. How do you, do we read anything into that, or is that simply by population volume?
That is by population and vehicle park. Gauteng has, if I recall correctly, in the order of 58 or 60% of all the vehicles in the country. And that's why just over 60% of our activities nationally occur in Gauteng. So there's no specific reason for that other than the demographics, Jeremy.
And that, or those numbers or that ranking is also mirrored then when it comes to theft hotspots.
Correct. Quite correct.
And then finally, I want to ask you this. There's been a noticeable increase in vehicles being targeted for their loads, particularly FMCG, fast-moving consumable goods. Again, that would be fairly obvious, wouldn't it?
Yes, I think it is, and especially considering the economic climate at the moment, the fact that so many people have lost their jobs and lost their income. So, unfortunately, people are turning to crime, and they're looking at a quick way to convert assets into cash. And those fast-moving consumer goods are obviously very desirable and can be converted into cash quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for the update. It's the hostage and the assault quotient that is particularly worrying. That's the new Tracker Vehicle Crime Index. Ron Knott-Craig is Executive of Operational Services, and you're watching Lunchtime.